Greetings, fellow travelers. Welcome on in. This is the RPG Cave level 191. Sorry, I don't know 91. How numbers work. Yeah. I am one of your hosts, the level 199 human Dark Lord, Ryan Turford, and I am joined by the Dabbin, level 199 Elf Battle Alchemist, Dr. Garret Plan. How's it going, Garret?
It's going good. 191. We're getting close, Ryan.
Yeah.
It's a palindrome.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yes.
In fact, we're so close in my brain that the dyslexia in my brain decided to think, because had to think about 199 being our level and then 191. That's why my brain switched them around, because of course that's how my brain works. It's weird. Brains are weird, Garret. I don't know if you do.
Brains are always weird. You know,
they're powered by electricity. They do things. You know,
don't we access only like 5% of our brain at a given moment?
That was like the whole movie.
Limitless.
Yeah.
With who's that with? Bradley Cooper?
It was Bradley Cooper, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I think Justin Timberlake, but no, it was Bradley Cooper.
No, Justin Timberlake was in that other movie around the same time about Just in Time or whatever. Like it was about time, where he was like, it was kind of like Logan's Run, where when you become a certain age, they just kill you. It's like that. Yeah.
What a weird set of movies. Anyways, Ryan, the weather today in Alameda, California is 14 degrees C.
Ooh, that's nice and balmy out there.
High of 18 degrees C. This is like this every day in the summer, by the way. Like everywhere else is like, oh my gosh, it's super hot. It's like 30 degrees, 35 degrees. See, the heat index make it like 50 degrees. And like, no, it's 14 here. And you always need a light jacket.
I like the fact that you live in California and I live in Canada.
Yeah.
And it's literally double the temperature. Like the temperature is twice as hot here. Because it's 30 degrees Celsius outside today.
That's pretty hot.
Right now. And it's supposed to get up, a couple more degrees this afternoon. But with the humidex, Garret, it's supposed to feel like 35.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's really hot over there. That's like not good. That's like typical in like where I went to in China, but man, I bet that's hot over there.
Yeah. Well, again, Canada. When you think about Canada, you don't think of it being really hot, but that is the world we live in. Also, people in the chat must be loving the weather talk already. I love.
Yes, no, we're just getting into it. Yeah.
Although you'll see when we get to questions, other people brought up weather too, so you can't just blame us. Okay.
You can't just blame us. No. We're not the only ones.
Exactly. Well, Garret, this is the RPG Cave. We talk about RPGs all the time, I swear. Sometimes. But we should probably clear the dungeon so we can get to the raid boss as quickly as possible. So, of course, we've got brand new supporters on patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Benny upgraded their subscription to the Platinum Producer tier. So shout out to Benny, which, by the way, this is your reminder, folks. If you've never been a Platinum Producer or an Ultimate Producer on our Patreon, both of those tiers are, even though they're our highest tiers, they also come with merch rewards when you join the tiers. So Benny, when they upgraded to the Platinum tier, received a mug with their purchase of the Platinum tier subscription.
That's nice.
And then if you go to the Ultimate Producer, you get a special t-shirt, a one-of-a-kind t-shirt that you can only get at the Ultimate Producer tier as well. So shout out to Benny and also all of our Ultimate and Platinum producers as well as all of our patrons. We love you all very, very much. Speaking of Patreon, of course, we've got brand new Patreon content. Amanda's Pants episode was the Pants episode this week. That you can go check out. Of course, the Pants Patreon podcast for Patrons podcast is our weekly AMA show with a rotating cast of all the Carpool Gaming hosts, where Amanda will answer any of your questions. And likewise, Fulia's Pants episode out tomorrow. She's up next. And then on Monday, speaking of the fee, get your questions ready for the fee, because the fee will answer all your questions. Starting on Monday, the questions post will be up on Patreon Monday morning. So make sure to head on over there, ask Fee some questions, and she'll answer them on the Pants Podcast. Please be excited. Speaking of Fee, it was cool to hang out and watch her and Sean play Fallout 76 last night from the recording as well.
What a game. Fallout 76. What an interesting video game that came out and just lives and just, it's somehow popular. and keeps on going. And it's been around now for the past 8 years or 7 years.
It just keeps going.
It kind of mind boggles me, actually.
I mean, but again, it's also just like it's a wonder that any live service game really sticks around for 8 years. Like that's not something that really happens. Like a game stays in the conscious eye long enough. But
do you remember that first 6 months of Fallout 76 where it was just so janky, so broken? Everyone thought, oh, this is an utter failure. And then they just kept updating it over and over and over. And you just see it every Xbox or Bethesda conference. Like, here's our update. Here it is. I'm actually surprised how consistent they were of supporting this game.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think they knew like they had to go one of two directions. Either they had to support it or just drop it immediately. Yeah. And I think they felt like they could salvage it. And I think that they have. Yes, it's not like this huge talked about game now, but and I don't think the player population is enormous, but at the same time, I think there's enough people there to, justify all the costs and justify all the new pieces of DLC that are coming out. I know that it got a boost after the TV show, so it makes a lot of sense why people are jumping into it. So I think there's reasons for it. In the same way that ESO keeps going as well with new content, Garrett, and that's been going on since like 2013.
That's been around for a while.
Yeah. One more thing, of course, before we move on to the rest of the shout outs here. Garrett, did you see the story this week that players have been that like EA released their earnings report this week, and their earnings report, their earnings this quarter were super high because of two like Star Wars games coming back, one of them being Star Wars Battlefront 2, which we've heard about for a while, but one that hadn't been reported on, but until this investors call, were a large number of people after the anniversary of Star Wars Episode 3 were flocking to Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Like
the
there's the subscriptions like shot through the roof for that game over the course of the last like month and a half.
That's very interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean, don't underestimate the power of Star Wars fans clinging back to any kind of nostalgia. So there you go.
Yeah, like I feel like I haven't heard about the Old Republic in forever. So it's crazy to see that like people are going back to that game. Speaking of like long-term games, because again, that game came out in like the Xbox 360 era.
Yeah, that was so long ago. And wasn't that, what was that developed by? Who was?
It was like BioWare Austin.
BioWare, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because it plays like a BioWare game where it's like the main campaign for Knights of the Republic is basically like a full campaign, but you have one for each character class. So like if you play as like a Jedi Consular, you go through this entire story that's like the length of a full length like Mass Effect game. And you have like other like companions that you can romance and stuff like that. Like it's actually a pretty cool game. But yeah, I thought that was so cool.
Hopefully they're paying attention. It's like, wow, do not underestimate the power of IP.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, I'm starting to think, Garrett, that even though Star Wars Outlaws didn't do well, like 2 years from now, like suddenly people will just pick up that game just out of nowhere and start playing it for like.
I'm hearing not revisionist history, but like, looking back at Star Wars Outlaws, and now that there's many updates on that game that has fixed a lot of the problems. People are like, this is a really good game in terms of like realizing the Star Wars world. Not necessarily like, oh, it's a good game in terms of gameplay or like it's astonishing, whatever. But like, oh, this world is fully realized in the Star Wars universe. So a Star Wars fan would really like this game.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, finishing things out, Garrett, I had one more shout out to give before we get into the show proper, and that of course is that we recorded something cool this week. That we of course on Monday will have a release of our almost famous spoiler cast and movie review with myself, Seth, and Sean that we recorded on Thursday this week.
Thursday.
So make sure to check that out on Monday as well on Patreon. Again, all the movie podcasts are exclusive to Patreon currently, so make sure to check that out on Patreon as well. And honestly, I would love to hear what y'all think about them so far. our movie podcast, because we've been putting some work into them, and I would love to know what people think about it. And Almost Famous was just a special one for me to do as well, because it's one of my all-time favorite movies. So it was just fun to sit around with Seth and talk about it. But anyways, Garrett, without further ado, give me your things, my friend.
Yes, I got many things. I know a certain someone's excited in the audience, so we're just going to get into it. Hopefully, it won't go too long. Anyways, yesterday was my birthday, Ryan.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Happy belated birthday, my friend.
Yes, thank you.
Your birthday went well.
It was very uneventful, let me tell you. I woke up. I worked from home. That's what I did on my birthday.
You got to work from home on your birthday.
Yeah, I was not going to the office. Like, no, screw it. Not going to waste 2 hours on commute to not see anyone on a Friday. You know, Fridays, no one goes to the office. So I stayed at home, worked, and got my free Starbucks. Nice. Got a Frappuccino, drank like half of it, and I was not going to drink the rest of it because it's so much sugar. It's like crazy. And then I just hung around. I made myself some dinner. I really want to amp up my cooking. So I did make some like pan-fried tofu and some vegetables and some rice. So did that for myself. Geez,
that sounds really fancy for helping dinner by yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to not like eat like garbage while Fiona's away. So
makes sense.
Other than that, I hung out with with Sean and Fee a little bit and talking, and Seth, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I played some other games. Yeah. So
they played Fallout 76, and you got to hang out.
Yeah, pretty much it.
Nice.
That was my birthday, by the way.
That sounds like, you know what? You joke that you barely did anything on your birthday, but that sounds like a pretty good birthday.
Well, it's funny because Fiona sent me a picture of the cake that she got for me that she's eating right now in China, and it's like a lychee rose cake. It's like so fancy. It's like, oh, happy birthday. It's like, here's your cake. I'm like, gee, thanks.
Yeah.
That you're eating and I'm not eating. So, anyways, nice. I had some other desserts.
Sweet.
Second thing, okay, I got to get into the coffee stuff, okay? You know me, I'm a coffee connoisseur.
Of course.
I'm obsessed with the coffee, espresso drinks. We got a new thing called a coffee distributor. You know what that is? You know what
I
that
have no idea what that is.
Okay, so basically, you like get your espresso powder in that little press thing, right? The little pellet or whatever. You need to distribute it, though, before you press it. So we have this little thing that has a little groove. Like it's like a disc kind of shaped metal, and it's like groove, and you literally just twist it. You twist it around, it distributes the coffee grinds before you press the espresso. And let me tell you, Ryan, it's a game changer. Just look up coffee distributor, everyone. Just like you'll see what I mean. It's like, I don't know, $20-$30.
Does it like change the taste of the coffee by like distributing the beans differently? Like, how does that work?
It doesn't change the taste. It's just it changes the way it's the crema and how the pressure is when you go through and actually making the espresso.
Oh,
If your espresso is not distributed properly, then all the water and pressure are going to just lean to one side, and then you're going to have a pretty crappy espresso. So you need to make sure to distribute it properly before you go in and do the extraction. So there you go. Espresso making.
I feel like every time I do the show with you, Garrett, I learn a new thing about coffee that I didn't know about.
It's a hardcore science, and when I see these YouTube shorts doing like 30 other different things, I'm like, that looks unnecessary. So I'm doing like the bare minimum.
Okay.
To make a coffee. Third thing, I forgot. Random fact: when I was in China, I ate pufferfish.
I love that. First of all, I love that this is a thing. Period. Yes. But B, dude, like you were risking everything eating pufferfish. Like
yes, I did not know that at the time. By the way, I searched it up later. For folks who don't know,
you didn't watch that one Simpsons episode where Homer thought he died from eating pufferfish?
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that at all.
There's that. Yeah, there was like that. That's actually like a Simpsons episode that actually stuck with me as a kid. It's just like, oh, I better watch out. If I go to a restaurant that serves pufferfish, I have to make sure the cook knows how to like slice it properly.
Right. So for folks who don't know, pufferfish is probably one of the most dangerous dishes to eat or to consume if it's not done properly. but I think so. So that's primarily a thing in Japan as well. Like you got to be very, very careful. But in China, they do have. They've recently farm grown pufferfish to make sure it does not have the toxins inside the fish, because the toxins come from how the pufferfish like consume like food. So they just changed their diet and changed the way they grow and breed, and now a lot of the pufferfish that's sold in restaurants in China are actually safe.
Oh, that's really, really interesting that they did. It's almost like scientists developing like seedless watermelons or something like that. Like fundamentally changing it through the course of like genetics. I think that's really interesting.
So, yeah, I'm alive. I'm a well. I probably would never eat a pufferfish again though. Like there's way better dishes to eat other than pufferfish, but it was good.
It was good. You're getting booed in the chat by Yarden. Boo! What is it to eat a sterile pufferfish?
Yarden, I didn't want to risk my life. Let me tell you, it's hardcore stuff if it's not done properly. Okay, fourth thing, Ryan, should I buy Star Wars Outlaws?
Is it on like a deep discount right now? Is there a reason why you're asking this? I'm curious.
Yeah, because in Walmart, the Xbox physical edition is being sold for $20.
Interesting.
But you know, I can always wait and always get the Steam version, and I'll get the best of it once I have my PC, and so I can get the full ray tracing or whatever. I think I should just wait. I think I should just wait for the Steam version being like $30.
I was gonna say that like you should wait for the platform you want to play it on. Like if your preferred platform is to play it on Steam, Garrett, then that's what you should wait for. But at the same time, I think it's a game that you might enjoy, and it's something that maybe is worth picking up. Like it's obviously not a role playing game. For us talking about it on a role playing game show, it's like a stealth kind of action game. Although they removed like the mandatory stealth missions where you die instantly if you get spotted, which is nice.
I just love Star Wars, so I think I would really be into it. That's what I hear. So. I'll hold off for now because I'm playing so many other games. I don't need it right now.
I was gonna say get it when you're ready to play it. Like that's my thought process on that.
Yeah,
also, Yarden chiming in the chat saying, my Walmart and had Xbox version of Outlaws for $15 and grabbed a copy.
Wow, 15. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even available for pickup for me. I would have to ship it, so that's an extra $5-6. So not worth it. Not worth it.
Yeah, we don't really have it that cheap here. It's still like 58 Canadian dollars for it.
Well, it is for like the PS5 version here. It's just the Xbox version is especially cheap here because no one wants to buy Xbox versions.
Well, it's not even just that. Like Xbox, you also have the option of signing up for Ubisoft Plus, the subscription service, and then you don't even have to buy it.
You know what? I should just do that when I'm ready.
Yeah. Because they have that on PC as well.
Yeah, the Ubisoft client or whatever.
Yeah, because you had all the new Ubisoft games that way.
Yeah. I got thing. This is thing number 5. I got so Ryan. I got Nintendo connections. I won't reveal too much, but basically, I can get games on a discount.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it from your uncle who works at Nintendo?
We'll go with that. It's my uncle that works at Nintendo. How about that? And I was especially just surprised by this when I kind of come to know this. And I am definitely getting some games for my birthday through that connection. So can't wait for some Switch 1 games, by the way.
I can't wait for you to tell me about them.
Yes, once I grab them. So there you go. And then I want to stream this weekend, Ryan, over at twitch.tv/carpoolgaming. So I may do some streaming today, may do some streaming tomorrow.
Anything in particular you're going to play?
I think I'm going to go after, I've been playing Mario and Luigi Brothership. Actually, I played a lot on my vacation. I played like 25 hours, 30 hours. So I'm kind of deep into it and I'm having a good time. So I may just pop in that game, maybe some other Switch 1 games. We will see.
Nice.
And then I also started Cyberpunk this week.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I haven't started it yet, but it's going to happen soon.
Yeah, it's kind of, the introduction type of, main missions or whatever. I actually remember this part when I was playing it like 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago.
Wait, are you playing as like the same like starting thing? Like,
I actually did a different background. I'm doing Corpo.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah. I like Corpo. But I'm also like, businessy. So, Sean, of course, chiming in saying that he still needs to play Cyberpunk at some point.
Oh, really?
I mean, Sean,
you should play with us.
I was gonna say Sean, Garrett and I are both playing it as part of Garrett's Backlog Adventure. You should play it.
Yeah, definitely.
I have still dialed into Liza P, but
Oh, of course he's dialed into Liza P. But the whole Phantom Liberty is all. I got everything, so I'm in. Yeah. I'm into this game, so. It's so different than Witcher. It's so interesting that CD Projekt Red just like, yeah, we're gonna develop this other RPG, open world RPG that's so different than Witcher 3. I'm like, you guys are weird.
Yeah.
But I'm into it.
Sean makes an interesting point in the chat because we're like, hey, you should play this too. And Sean mentions he also needs to play Final Fantasy 16. Sean, I will give you. Well, no, you missed it while you were on vacation.
Oh.
Sean and I did an episode together where Sean talked about, wanting to be introduced to role-playing games. And he asked me to assign a game to him. Like I assigned a game to you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I assigned him Final Fantasy 16. But I mean, Cyberpunk was on the list of games to assign Sean. And I will say to Sean right now, Sean, you are more than welcome to just skip past 16 and play Cyberpunk if you would prefer to do that instead. Don't feel like you're beholden to what we talked about. If you would like to do that instead.
I argue that 16 is not an RPG, so.
Oh, we talked about that on the show. Where it's but I also I thought that would be a good gateway into Final Fantasy more than anything.
That's true. It was a good gateway for me to get into Final Fantasy.
Because then after that point, you'll probably want to play like 7 Remake and like the next Final Fantasy that comes out like that. I think that it's like a good gateway game to other role playing games.
Yeah, it was fun. 16's fun.
Yeah, it's a good game.
And then last thing, Pokemon Direct reacts. Ryan, the Pokemon Direct happened.
It did. Originally, it was going to be a topic on the show this week, Garrett.
Yeah.
But that's like nothing.
They really did. It was a nothing burger. And that reacts. It's all the updated mobile game stuff.
Or like the Netflix show, like the Pokemon
Netflix shows, which is cute. Very cute stuff. But Pokemon Za, of course, they revealed the Switch 2 version, and it actually looks okay. It actually looks a game that you can play. Still, it looks like a game from like 2008, but still, it looks like a game you're gonna have fun in. I'm gonna actually wait for reviews on this one. I'm so hesitant on this Legends game, and I wouldn't say disappointed, but just it is so the direction I did not want to go with the Legends series specifically. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, that's why when we talked about this when they first announced it, Garrett, it almost feels like Legends is their new subtype for spin-off games, but they're not necessarily connected by gameplay styles or even regions or even themes. It just seems it's just whatever new ideas they want to throw at a game is kind of designated as a Legends game. It feels like to me, or a game that's like a prequel to the other games. So maybe that's the one theme that kind of binds them together.
Yeah.
Because this game, you're right, looks nothing like Arceus at all.
Right.
It's completely different. And it's all about these real time battles, which I think will be really interesting to see how they play out in actuality.
So waiting for reviews. See what people think about that.
This one, I'm pretty excited about it. Especially coming off of playing Scarlet. I'm actually pretty excited to play it.
And of course, I don't have a Switch 2, and I'm not going to get this for the Switch 2, and I don't want to play the Switch 1 version.
You're not going to buy the bundle, the Pokemon Za bundle?
Nah, I'm not going to get the Za bundle.
Yeah.
It's a good bundle. That's a better bundle than the Mario Kart bundle.
Whoa. That's not true. You get Mario Kart costs $10 more.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mario Kart is an $80 game.
Yeah, you're right. But I don't think I'll get Mario Kart once I get the Switch 2.
Yeah.
I'm pretty lackluster. But well, like I'm not a big Mario Kart fan from the beginning. Like even the Switch version, like, oh yeah, I'll play with some friends, but I haven't touched that thing in years. Yeah. So
Garrett, I was looking on my Switch dashboard the other day and looking at hour counts. I've played Mario Kart World for 3 hours at this point.
That's actually, it's so surprising. Like, yeah, people were into it and now everyone's playing the Bonanzas, the Donkey Kongs.
Which I finished this week. I really, really liked that game.
I heard it's people are saying it's like their best game ever. And I'm like,
well, I don't know about that. I think it's very good. I'm gonna throw it on record though. I liked it more than I liked Mario Odyssey.
Ooh.
Like I honestly think it's a better game. But
that'll be a game I'll get once I get a Switch 2.
It's also I'm also gonna mention like the last like half of that game is bonkers. It is so good. So yes, it's a very, very good game. I'm actually excited because I kind of want to talk to Seth about it after he finishes it. To see like what he thinks.
I heard it's a crazy ending. Yeah.
There's some cool stuff in there, but like there's mostly what I'm playing on Switch though is not that. I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter, or I've
Street Fighter on Switch 2. How's that?
Yeah, it plays really well.
That's good.
I mean, I love Street Fighter, and it's cool to just have it portably, like the same experience from the PS5.
Yeah. So does it like feel okay on the hands with the Joy-Cons? Do you have a grip or anything like that?
No. It feels fine. Okay. I don't play it a ton portably right now, but it feels pretty good when I play it. Yeah. The D-pad is spaced out a little bit better than it was on Switch 1, so it definitely makes fighting games on the handheld a lot better to play now than it used to be. But then playing with the Pro Controller, it's just like I'm playing with an Xbox controller.
I did go to a Target just to see if there's a Switch 2 demo, and of course there is. And there was a Pro Controller, and I felt that Pro Controller. And that was really good. Yes, that Pro Controller feels very premium.
Yeah, yes,
it's one of the best. So
it's awesome, and the D-pad especially is very, very good, especially if you want to play like fighting games. So
nice.
Nice. So I've been playing a lot, having fun playing that, and then I've been waiting to maybe play No Sleep for Konami Date, which just came out this week.
Right,
that Files game.
Right, that's another one.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I can't wait, but I'm also interested to see what we see this week because that's as good of a transition as any, Garrett.
Yes,
it's now time to read from the sacred texts. Also, I have to mention, because I think you missed this episode, the episode I was on with Sean. He couldn't get over just the actual reading of the sacred text and looking.
Yeah, he's like, what's happening? What's going on? It's like we are blinding ourselves with the Elder Scrolls. That's what we're doing. The sacred text.
Exactly. You're reading them over. Dude, there's so much stuff on the sacred text.
I remember that, and the first time that animation happened in Skyrim, and I had no idea what's going on because you literally open the Elder Scroll and you're just blind. By the whole screen. Yeah. Fun stuff.
Scrolls. Well, of course, Garrett, it's that time of year again where we sit down and, of course, look into the RPG cave crystal ball to come up with predictions. Because we had predictions for Summer Game Fest. And, of course, Summer Game Fest has come and gone, Garrett. But now we are hearing rumblings that there might be a Nintendo Direct this week. But also it's one of those things where, even if there's not a Nintendo Direct next week, like it seems like there's going to be, there will be one in the next, month or so. And we wanted to kind of predict it ahead of time. And these predictions will apply to whenever the next Nintendo Direct is, whether it's next week or at the end of the month. So I thought it'd be fun for us to sit down and talk about Nintendo Switch 2 games at this Nintendo Direct. So I will mention as well that we did, of course, predict some stuff. Yeah. They might see there during our Summer Game Fest predictions, because we were expecting maybe there was going to be a Nintendo Direct during the Summer Game Fest time, and there wasn't. So we might pull some predictions from that as well, just throwing that out there. But let's begin. I don't know if we came up with an arbitrary number. Do we want to do like 3, 5 predictions? What do you think, Garrett?
Well, we can do 3 for now and see how we can.
See how it goes?
See how.
Okay. Sounds good.
Any further.
And that we're going to, whenever this happens, Garrett, we will come back and award points on this. To just 1 point if you got it and 0 points if you didn't. Plain and simple. Also, I will mention as well, looking back at our Summer Game Fest ones, because we didn't actually score those, Garrett, even though we meant to, neither of us got anything right. So
yeah, we got 0 points.
We both got 0 points. That's how our how good our Summer Game Fest predictions.
Love our distribution there.
Yeah, exactly. Surprisingly, Garrett, the Breath of Fire collection did not get announced during Summer Game Fest. Exactly.
Darn.
So, Garrett,
yes.
Would you like to go first or second?
Let me go first. I want to come out strong, and I want to get this out of the way.
Oh, God, before I steal it.
Well, no, it's not even stealing it, because I think we really need some nuance in this prediction, some details for sure. So I'm sure you have different feelings about this. The Fire Emblem game, this long-awaited Fire Emblem game. I think this Direct will be, I don't know if it's going to be the final announcement. You know what I'm going to say? It's going to be the final announcement, and it's going to be showing off the trailer, reveal, gameplay. They're going to, it's going to be the whole 9 yards. They're going to, it's probably the main showcase of, like the main game of the showcase. That's my prediction.
Outside of the games that we know they're going to display for this year, because Metroid Prime 4 will obviously be there. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment, and that other game that's coming out this year.
Kirby Air Riders.
Kirby Air Riders, that's the one.
Yeah, so those three, yeah, I can see Age of Imprisonment being the final game too, because they haven't shown much.
Yeah. I think I agree with you, though, that the final game's probably going to be like a new game, whether it's Fire Emblem or something else.
Okay. Yeah, so those are the other three other big games. Kirby Air Riders, they haven't shown much either. They're definitely going to have release dates.
Yeah.
For those three.
I know for sure at least Age of Imprisonment and Metroid Prime 4 will for sure have release dates, because they both just got rated. So and they like, ratings boards don't rate games until like the release date's locked in. So.
Right. So that's one thing, is that it's going to be the main, I think it's going to be the main game of, other than those, of the showcase. And then also it's going to come out, I would say February of 2026. It's going to be an early release, a good, like transition into springtime. I'm sure they'll have many other first party games they want to get into. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the next franchise. It's not going to be a remake. It's going to be, this is the next one.
Yeah.
Here's Fire Emblem, whatever. And, so, I wonder how they're going to go about this one compared to Three Houses. I don't think they'll break it apart again like they have done, like the 3 different houses, 3 different routes, and it's going to be Persona-like. I think it's going to be a little bit more traditional, but still have the same quality of life improvements they've always done with Fire Emblem, and then improve upon that.
Like maybe something even closer to Engage, but more fleshed out from Engage. Maybe.
Yeah. And it's going to be a brand new story, characters or whatever. And I think it's going to be, Engage was a good, but like it was, it was much more fan servicey than anything.
Yeah, it was meant to be like the anniversary game for Fire Emblem,
right?
Which is why it wasn't like as deep, I think, as Three Houses was. But you're right. Like I think the next game will kind of like combine that a little bit with like Engage's simplicity, but then like kind of introducing some more like deeper mechanics on top of that. But yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up, because first of all, Garrett, that was also my first prediction.
Yes,
was also Fire Emblem. I truly believe like this, they're going to follow the Switch 1 playbook in a lot of ways, where I think like within the first half of next year we're going to get a new Fire Emblem, and I actually said January. So
you said January, okay?
Yeah, you and I are pretty close though on that one.
Yeah.
And I also believe it's the next mainline Fire Emblem game, not a remake or something like that. I think it's entirely possible that Genealogy of the Holy War remake, Garrett, just never comes out.
Yeah, I can totally see that too.
Yeah, I think that's a possibility. But I also want to bring in Skycatcher, who has a question. Who says,
bring in Skycatcher.
What do you think what do you want to see in the next Fire Emblem? Me, I like being able to choose between different factions and would love to be able to choose which one to lead in battle and have the option of going through different campaigns. And shipping lots of shipping as well. But as we kind of talked about, I think it's probably too much to expect that they're going to do another game with multiple factions, like Three Houses or even Fire Emblem, the Fates. Like I don't think they're going to do something like that again. I think actually this next game will be more akin to something like Fire Emblem Awakening. Where it'll be like one campaign. You're on a map that you can go from place to place, and maybe they have those as like open world sections even in like a new game, where like maybe there's things to experience along the way to your next destination, but you can also like fast travel to it. I could see them doing something like that because Nintendo has been exploring more with this open world concept with a lot of their games, and I could see that maybe that being like what they consider like the next big hook is like maybe introducing some open world stuff to like the world section rather than just having a map that you just go from place to place on.
Yeah.
So I could see them doing something like that. But as far as what I want, honestly, I just want it to be like a just a fun, deep, strategy role playing game that that moves at a brisk pace. Like that's kind of what I'm looking for this game, with fun, cool characters that that I want to play with, and of course, like similarly what you said, Skycatcher, just lots of shipping. I like shipping.
Lots of shipping, for sure. I think they're going to really... I think Skycatcher brought up a good point is that they really like replayability in their games. They're like, okay, what can the player go back to and do something differently? So I think in this Fire Emblem, they're really going to lean on player agency. There'll be a story, but I think it'll have multiple endings. You'll have a main character, and I think it has some in previous Fire Emblem games, but I think this one they're gonna really lean on. You have like 5-6 different endings. You have your own set of characters that is very unique compared to like previous games as well. So I think they're gonna lean on like, okay, this is a unique playthrough for one player, and they can replay it and do something completely different, and you'll have much different, gameplay.
Yeah,
I think that's what's going to happen with this new one.
Yeah, exactly. And now, again, I'm trying to think of like what else could be like, what else I would want, or what I would want like the big hook to be. And I think the big hook will be like open world stuff and having like side quests available that way. But I'm trying to think of like what else they could do besides that, because they always
want base building. I want that back.
I don't want base building to ever come back to Fire Emblem. I hate base
building. Do it. Base building. I like.
No, because I know that the way they'll do base building, Garrett, is it'll be like Three Houses where you'll kind of walk around the base on foot, and then you'll walk up to buildings, and then you'll build them, and then the frame rate will tank to like 10 frames a second.
That's true.
It'll make you do it as like a mandatory thing, and it'll groan every time that I have to do it.
Yeah.
Or walk around that base.
I think the one aspect I want Fire Emblem to improve upon is actually the weapon and armor kind of improvements and allocation. I think a lot of games don't do this very well, actually. I want them to really think about a system that could improve equipment. It's like, okay, you have this weapon, it has these certain stats. How can I make it my own? How can I improve it? Add some more variety, like attributes to the weapon, make it unique. I think that would be really cool to add into the Fire Emblem flair, and I think it'll work pretty well.
Yeah, like what if you could actually tweak a weapon where like it acted like a different way on the weapon wheel, like it would affect.
Yeah.
Like if you had a sword that like acted like an axe or something like that.
Yeah, like you can, let's say you can dual blend like certain weapons, or let's say this weapon can let's say steal like health and like give it to someone else. Like these types of effects would be really cool to see.
Yeah, exactly. Like I love the idea of like more customization, because before the customization in Fire Emblem was like give +1 stat to the weapon or something like that. Like
yeah. And that's it.
Very bare bones. But then also, like, weapons have always felt very disposable in Fire Emblem because, like, they only have a certain number of uses anyways. So maybe I think that's the reason they didn't want to have something like that in the system before. Like, maybe because you're going through weapons fairly quickly in those games.
Yeah. But. So I'm curious what they're gonna do. What's the new thing in this new Fire Emblem game?
Honestly, speaking of weapons, Garrett, I almost hope that they just get rid of weapon durability altogether.
Me too. I think that's a little bit of a distraction.
Yeah.
Because every time I go through a Fire Emblem game, I always have to worry about keeping multiple of the same weapon for a certain character because I know they're just gonna run out of durability. Yeah. Which is kind of I don't know.
Yeah, the worst is like going into a battle and having like a sword with like 5, uses on it left, and then you go and you use them all up and you're just fighting with your fists and just like, come on, man.
Yeah, pretty much. And of course this will be a Switch 2 exclusive.
Of course. That's what I'm thinking too. Is like they're not going to do Switch 1 for
Right.
In fact, like I think this goes across the board for any Nintendo first-party releases, but any games that they haven't announced already as Switch 1 games are not coming to Switch 1. Like Tomodachi Life, we know is a Switch 1 game. Rhythm Heaven, we know is a Switch 1 game. And they might even still have 1 or 2 Switch 1 games left, but I don't think they'll have that'll have like Switch 1 and 2 versions, but I don't think they'll have like announced like a new Switch 2 game as, a major franchise game as that.
Yeah, I think they kind of learned with 3DS. Like when the Switch 1 came out, 3DS died. It just went to the grave.
Yeah. Or I should say they tried. They tried to
they really did.
On it. Like that Metroid Samus Returns died because of the Switch. Because
it was a WarioWare 2 and then
Bowser's Inside Story, the remake.
That shuttered the studio.
Yep.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, because they expected like people to still buy 3DS games at that point, and all those people moved on to Switch at that point. So
makes sense.
All right, well, that was your first prediction, Garrett. Was Fire Emblem? I got the way. I'm actually super excited to see what the next Fire Emblem game is, and I'm like pretty confident that's like what we're gonna see it at this direct, or at least if we don't see it here, we'll see it before the end of the year. If it's not at this direct,
yes.
All right, well, moving on, Garrett. My first prediction is a safe one because at Bandai Namco they announced like at the beginning of the summer, hey, we have a new Tales of Remastered announcement that's happening this summer. Well, we're in the summer, Garrett, and they haven't announced it yet. And I think, the last 2, actually, hold on. Actually, all 3 of the remastered games in the Tales series were all announced at Nintendo Directs. So I'm imagining, of course, it makes sense to announce the next Tales of Remastered at this Nintendo Direct. So my prediction for the game, however, is Tales of Xillia Remastered is announced for Switch at the Nintendo Direct. It's coming out in January 2026, which will be exactly like 1 year after Tales of Grace's F came out, essentially. Like because Bandai Namco seems to want to do one of these every single year at this point, so it makes sense that they do one a year away. And Tales of Xillia, for those that don't know, was the Tales series Tales games, and there were 2 of them because Tales of Xillia actually got a sequel, and maybe they'll do them both as like a double pack, like Tales of Xillia 1 and 2. But they came out in the late stages of the PS3 generation, and it was exclusive to PS3. And these were kind of like the start of like the new style of Tales games where you've got, a 3D arena, you've got this like combo system, and it feels kind of like playing a fighting game, but also a role-playing game at the same time. These games are really well beloved. I think they're great, and I would love to see Tales of Xillia Remastered, maybe as a double pack with Tales of Xillia 2, be kind of the next Tales of Remastered game, and it'll be announced at this Switch event. And even if it's not this one, I can guarantee you, Garrett, there will be a Tales of Remastered announcement at this Nintendo Direct. It just might not be this one.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think Tales of Xillia is kind of what I'm betting on. I know a lot of people want to say Tales of the Abyss because it's one people want to see. But I think to them, at Bandai Namco, their thought reasoning is like, oh, well, we already have a remake that we did of Tales of the Abyss. It's on 3DS, and it didn't come out too long ago. So maybe they kind of just want to wait on that one at this point. But
yeah, good prediction. You gotta love the Tales franchise.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of that's my short and sweet one to start things off. Tales of Xillia. I mean, we're to see a Tales game, and I love Tales, so I can't wait to see what's next. But Garrett, hit me with your next one, my friend.
I think there's many third-party publishers just rushing. They're like, okay, we got to get our Switch 2 version out. We got to make sure that it's in front of the Nintendo hands. Now they have an actual capable handheld system that is, competitive to the other PC handhelds. We can start putting stuff on there and, go through it. So I think this next one is a no-brainer. I don't know if it's going to be in this direct, but it will be imminent. Baldur's Gate 3 will be announced, and I think it'll come out later this fall. Like they want to. I hope they really want to rush this out because they have optimized everything about that game now. It is finished. Oh, I wouldn't say that, but they said their final update was it like a couple months ago or something like that?
Yeah, it was not too long ago.
It was not too long ago. So I think they're ready to just port this over to a Switch 2. They already have, what's their Divinity? They already have those on Switch 1. So
yeah, Divinity Original Sin 2 was on Switch 1.
Yes. And there's cross-save always, and I think there'll definitely be cross-save for the Switch 2 version as well for Baldur's Gate 3. I think let me give you a specific date. Well, not a specific date. I'll give you a month, November of this year. The Switch 2 edition of Baldur's Gate 3, and people will go crazy and be obsessed with it.
Dude, I think people would go nuts for this game on Switch 2, especially like being able to play portably. Especially in co-op. Like, I think people will be very excited about this game.
Yeah, I bet it would be better than the 25 frames per second. I think it would be better performing than the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally or whatever. They're going to optimize it like crazy. So yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be cross-play and cross-save. I think they do a pretty good job of doing that, handling that for their games. So,
yeah, like I'm expecting there to be a lot of these types of ports here from third parties, especially like even just on the non-RPG side. Like I expect Capcom to show up with the Resident Evil games, like non-cloud versions of those. Right. I'm expecting like a lot of stuff like this. So, and anything that runs on Xbox Series S, I think is a safe bet.
It's guaranteed. Switch. Yeah,
I think it's a safe bet for Switch too. So, yeah, I think you nailed it on the head with this one, Garrett. I think there's nothing to say. I'm not going to dispute this on it. I 100% think this is going to happen. I mean, the only thing you could be wrong about, I think, is the date in November. But
the date and then the announcement, I think it's going to happen or it's not going to happen in the direct, and they'll do it later. So
that's true, because Larian could always bring it to Twitter. But I don't know. I think that Nintendo, this is the type of game Nintendo wants in their showcase.
For sure.
But I'm going to bring in this non-RPG one from the chat, Garrett, which I thought was interesting, of course. We've got this one from BKLYN40, who says, I hope Ubisoft will announce the next Just Dance game for Nintendo Switch 2 in the Direct, about Nintendo and Ubisoft. Just Dance 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025 are compatible for Switch 2. The next Just Dance will work 100% for Nintendo Switch 2. Because, those games I don't think actually work on the Switch 2 right now. So, I mean, Just Dance is a franchise I don't think we've actually seen in a Direct for a long time.
They typically bring it to their Ubisoft presentations.
But there's no Ubisoft presentation.
There's no Ubisoft presentations, Yeah,
I think that this is something I could see happening. Like, even if they don't go and do this breakdown of talking about how the other games are compatible, maybe that's in a post after the Direct itself. I could see them doing Just Dance 2020.
Just Dance is it's a good franchise. I would specifically for Switch because the motion with the Joy-Cons or whatever. You have Just Dance on other consoles, but you need the camera, right? You need the motions in order to get it.
Yeah, like the difference was in the Switch. The Switch has like the motion controls built into the controls themselves,
right?
So it was able to do it without the camera, which is nice. Because I remember like when I played Just Dance on Xbox before, because I reviewed Just Dance at my old outlet. I didn't have to use the camera. You had to use like your phone to do most of the motions, which was interesting. Like I had to pair my phone with my Xbox, and then it did the motions that way, which was interesting.
All right, next prediction, Ryan. What you got?
Absolutely, speaking of ports, Garrett.
Diablo
4. Slam dunk for Switch 2.
Slam dunk. Boom.
Diablo 4, I think, is coming out this fall for Switch 2. I mean, we already you heard from the Microsoft Insider this week that we're going to be seeing Microsoft games announced for Switch 2 and many more, and actually more for PS5 announced in the coming weeks. And I mean, Gamescom's coming up, and I think some of those announcements will actually be at Gamescom or leading into Gamescom. But this is like a slam dunk for me. Diablo 4 coming out this October, just in time for Halloween. It's going to have 4-player like local co-op, and it's going to have online, and it'll be crossplay with the other versions of the game. And it'll be like kind of like the Switch version, where it'll be like a bundle with the game and the expansion. That'll be the only way you can buy it, is just kind of the one version of the game. But Diablo 4, I think, is like slam dunk. Diablo 3 was such a big hit on Switch 1, and then Diablo 2 even was pretty big on Switch 1. So I think Diablo 4 is like a no-brainer. And now that especially because it runs fine on the Series S, so I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be fine here.
Sounds good. I've been playing some Diablo 4 this week, sprinkling it in some few sessions. Got to get that required Game Pass streak, and so that was one of my games going through. It's fun game.
It's a good game. And it's also come a long way too, because it's had a lot of updates. And I know that people were not super happy with it or fell off in the early days of that game. But they've added a lot of cool things to do in that game, even just in the post game or even just in the leveling process now. And the new expansion is actually really good too for Diablo 4. So yeah, I think this is like the perfect time to bring it out.
Okay, right. And this is my far-fetched prediction. This is the one that's probably not going to happen, most likely not happening. But I'll predict it anyways, because why not?
I like crazy predictions, Garrett.
All right, Monolith Soft, where are you at? where are you at? Okay, so I think we've been seeing some positions available on LinkedIn to lead us to believe, of course, they're making a new kind of franchise, new series, let's say, for Monolith Soft. So I think Xenoblade, I actually don't know if they're going to continue that. I think
they went on record saying that they are leaving Xenoblade behind.
Okay. That's good to know.
After Xenoblade 3, I remember them saying that in an interview that Future Connected was meant to be the last Xenoblade piece of content.
Interesting. Okay. So we're going to get another Xeno series. So what they're going to do in this direct is basically have some type of small announcement of like, hey, the next series from Monolith Soft is in development, or their first game is in development. Please be excited. That type of thing. Because that type of announcement happened, in 2017 with like Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Metroid Prime 4 and stuff like that. So I think they're going to have some type of an announcement like that. It's like, hey, it's happening. There's not going to be a title or anything like that. It's like, hey, we're working on it.
Yeah.
Please be excited. And it's going to be it's going to be for Switch 2, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the announcements that we got from the Switch 1 Direct, where it was a dude sitting behind the desk.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's almost like he puts his feet up and he's like, hey, there's a new Pokemon game and a new, and that's where we got the announcement of, and also because we got an announcement of some other game that way too, where he's just like sitting behind a desk. He's like, hey, you're getting a new Pokemon game this year. And that was it.
And that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was so bizarre. That was when they announced Fire Emblem Three Houses. Was it? They
oh, really?
The dude behind the desk was just sitting there. Where they're like, and next year we'll have the next main entry in the Fire Emblem series.
Interesting. Yeah, it'll be something cryptic like that.
Yeah.
Just super subtle. Maybe some sort of catchy artwork or whatever, a conceptual thing, trailer, what's happening. But that's it. It's like, hey, we're working on the next game. There's gonna be Xeno something, I presume, but we don't know.
100%. Yeah, I think it just depends on how far along Monosoft is on their next game.
Yeah,
it's more than anything. It will depend on whether or not we see it here, because I think we'll see it here for sure if it is set to come out next year. But if it's farther away than next year, I think they probably save that one.
Yeah, just hold it close.
Yeah, because I also think there's a possibility, Garrett, and this isn't a role-playing game, but I'm going to throw it out there in the universe. I think there's a good possibility that actually, this was the type of thing where if they didn't have what I was about to talk about, that Monosoft would probably be their next announcement might even be the final thing you see at this showcase, is something for the future. Mm-hmm. But I actually think maybe the final thing we see instead, in lieu of Monosoft's next game, is Animal Crossing, the next Animal Crossing for next year. I think that is something.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Nintendo's they are really wanting another Animal Crossing. It wants to release it for the crowd, for the monies, because that one sells.
Yeah. I'm not even someone who likes Animal Crossing, but I totally can see that now that it's been, 6 years.
It's been a while.
Next year it'll be 6 years since New Horizons. That I think that's enough time for them to come up with a new one for Switch 2 next year. So
Animal Crossing is on the first floor of the San Francisco store. It covers about almost the same floor space as the Mario. It is crazy popular. I could totally see that.
Yeah, but I don't think you're off base. I still think they could announce this here. But I also think it's just as possible that you see this at the end of the year direct, because there will probably be another direct before the end of the year. So.
Honestly, I could see it, announcing now or 2 years from now.
That's true too.
Because I think they may have learned their lesson of they want to hold their cards until they're ready.
Also, Yarden chimes in and says, hearing that Xenoblade is dead makes me very happy.
Well, I'm glad you're very happy, Yarden, that, you want to kill a franchise off. All right, sounds good.
Well, that's not even that. I kind of agree with Yarden to an extent, because I didn't like the idea of Monosoft being pigeonholed into just doing Xenoblade specific stuff. I wanted to see them do other things. I like the idea of doing other projects. They got the trilogy in that they wanted to do.
Yep.
And they can move on to other stuff. I think that's a good progression for studios to take.
Yeah.
So it's Retro Studios. As much as I love the Metroid Prime games, I'm glad that they did the 3 Metroid Prime games, and then they did the Donkey Kong Country games. I think that's good for studios to kind of, move on and try different things like that. So,
yeah, definitely.
But, anyways, Garrett.
Your prediction, Ryan. What?
Yes. The final one, Garrett.
Go for it.
This is a tricky one. Because honestly, there's a bunch of these that, first of all, I'm going to run down the list of ones that I actually have left over from Summer
There's so many
Fest.
Third-party announcements that could happen here.
Yeah, so. And I think a lot of those that I had were could have filled this slot, Metaphor Refantasio or Persona 3 Reload. I think those.
I think Persona 3 Reload's a slam dunk for sure.
One of the two of those for sure is getting announced here. I had one here that I actually think. I still stand behind the idea that there's a new Mario strategy game that's not Rabbids related.
Yeah.
That'll get announced at some point. Mm-hmm. And it might not be at this direct. It might be, sometime in the future. Mm-hmm. I also had on here Octopath Traveler 3, Garrett, which is fine.
Yes.
But I actually think the last prediction I'm going to make is I think speaking of that, mm-hmm. there will be a new HD 2D game here.
Yes.
That will be a remake of an older game from Square Enix, and I believe that game's going to be Terranigma. I think it's finally getting the
interesting
remake. So Terranigma is like a RPG from the Super Nintendo era. It was kind of in like this same bubble that Live Alive was in, and some of the other later Super Nintendo games were in. And it seems like the perfect type of game to redo in this HD2D style. It's got this like sci-fi kind of slant to it. It's got great music. I think it's a cool game, but I've honestly never played it myself, but this is one that I think they're going to do another, like Square Enix is going to do like another HD2D remake. And I think that's probably it.
That's a good prediction for sure. They love to go back and fish out like a random RPG from their catalog and update it.
Especially because after like Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD come out, Garrett, like that'll be, we don't have any other announced HD2D games after that we know about. And I think they'll give us whatever that next game will be for next year, kind of announced here. So
yes,
whether it's Terranigma or something else, because it could also be another game. They could even honestly just do another original game.
Yeah, a new project game.
Yeah, maybe even like a sequel to Triangle Strategy. Like I think they could go in a bunch of different directions with it with their next HD2D game. But I think for sure we'll see like whatever HD2D game is next at this showcase. And I think Terranigma is the one I'm placing my bet on, but it could be any number of things, Garrett. I mean, what I would actually kind of love to see would be like an HD2D like spin-off of something like Bravely Default or Final Fantasy or one of the other franchises. Like I think that would be like so cool. Yeah. Actually, Final Fantasy HD2D game, I would like go nuts for. It would be so
cool. Like a Final Fantasy 4 or 6 HD2D.
I don't even mean that. I think like a brand new Final Fantasy.
Oh, brand new like. Oh, I see.
That's like meant to be a spin-off. Like not meant to be Final Fantasy 16, but like Final Fantasy Tales or something, or Final Fantasy Origins, or like some weird name.
A spin-off.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Yeah, just link that brand up, with the HD2D style. Yeah, because, they've been pretty quiet for a little bit ever since Octopath Traveler 2. That studio, I forgot exactly the studio name. But yeah, I could totally see the HD2D game being in this direct.
Yeah, there's going to be another one, and of course you had Garrett bringing it back to
of course
you had Project Pentagon Defense Tower.
Heck
was
yeah,
announced. The RTS defending 5 different towers is what I had written here.
Oh man, I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Because I know also just to kind of run down some of the ones you had as well, because you had Breath of Fire collection, which could still get announced here.
Good.
If it was actually a thing. But the other ones you had were like Witcher 1 remake or Fallout 3 remake. Yeah.
I kind of given up hope on those. So the Witcher series, I can tell that they are far off for those. And then Fallout 3 remake, it's happening. It's going to be done by Virtuos. So it's going to be a few years. Yeah.
And I also still hold out hope for the last prediction from I had before that hasn't been announced yet. Final Fantasy 13's the trilogy of that.
Yes.
Just a re-release on modern platforms at this point, because it's really the only one we're missing at this point. So I can
Xbox is the definitive way to play the complete collection of the Final Fantasy series or main series. Yeah. So.
Also, one of my predictions, Garrett, that I thought about last night that I almost made was Fallout 76 comes to Switch.
I can see that happening, man. Yeah. Put all the multiplayer stuff on Switch 2.
Yeah.
Get them linked up. I can see 76. I can see Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
I can see.
I think we'll probably see.
Sea of Thieves 100%. Yeah. Get the online games to Switch 2. It's an easy cash grab. For that.
I also think it's not outside the realm of possibility that we see an announcement of Final Fantasy 14 for Switch too.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I bet they're paying attention to the Switch, the Nintendo community. I also think a lot of people like us, like hardcore gamers, of course we play a lot on our computers and consoles, but we also have a Switch 2. I think it's a pretty easy sell to just have that version on Switch 2, and someone will buy it again. Yeah. And so they could play a handheld on their Nintendo console. It's just kind of, I think that's a good strategy for sure.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
Good fiscal sense.
Yeah. And the other one I thought about too, and I think they're going to kind of do this in order so that we might not see these, but like I could see like the Like a Dragon, Yakuza, as well as Infinite Wealth. I think we could see both of those as well.
Yeah, they launched with Yakuza 0, right?
Yeah, they did.
For Switch 2, it's like a Switch 2 Definitive Edition or something like that.
Yeah, there's it's like a director's cut where they added some extra stuff to the game.
But Yakuza Kiwami 1 is a Switch 1 version. There's no Switch.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, no Switch 2 there. So yeah, I could see both, Like a Dragon and Infinite Wealth. Eventually coming to Switch 2, I don't know if it'll be in this direct.
Yeah, that's true. I just know Sega will probably be here with lots of stuff, and
yes,
that'll be one of the things. Although we kind of found out because they earlier this week, Garrett, there's this data company that collects, gets information on digital sales for a lot of games, and we found out like the winners and losers of the third party releases on Switch 2 as far as the ones that actually sold well, and like the game that was at the bottom was the Sega game. Sonic Cross Shadow Generations, I think, was the lowest selling game on Switch 2. So maybe they're not super happy about all the stuff on Switch 2. But I still think Sega's like they're so in bed with Nintendo that they're gonna probably announce a bunch of things here. I mean, maybe Garrett, maybe they'll announce a new Chinese. No, I can't even see that with a straight.
You can't say it. You can't say it. Not yet. No.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Maybe they'll announce a new Fantasy Star game, but probably not.
Probably not.
But anyways, anything else we want to touch on from that before we move on to questions, Garrett?
I think we pretty much wrapped up the RPG section of this Nintendo Direct. Of course, there's going to be so many different other games that probably be more important, like Animal Crossing in this Direct. So we'll see how it goes.
Yon32 is coming in saying, "That's because Sonic is the enemy." Yon32, I love you, but just no.
Sonic is our friend now.
Sonic is our friend. I love
It's
Sonic.
Like everywhere. It's like in all different spin-offs. People like it. It like the little blue thing on the movie set too. I
can't wait for my Sonic Magic the Gathering cards to come in so I can show them off on the show. I can't wait.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. Also, Skycatcher is asking if they're going to announce an OLED soon.
No. Yeah, no, give it years. Give it like 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah. I mean, Jan points out about Silksong. I mean, that game's supposed to be coming out this year. So, I mean, maybe.
I hate how so cryptic that game is. And of course, he wants Silksong to be there because it's in his draft for our fantasy critic over at PSVG. And I'm winning, by the way. I'm like at the top. And that'll bring him pretty close to me if Silksong comes out. And if Mafia does really well, then that's not good for me because I counterpick that. So we're me and John 32, we're like kind of at a stance of the top place now over there. Yeah. I
mean, I'm on pace to actually do pretty well in Fantasy Critic right now, Garrett. I've got
you're winning out.
I got Kirby's Air Riders. I got Borderlands 4. I got some good games left.
There we go.
And I had Bonanza and Clair Obscure in my.
Oh man, you got it set. You had Donkey Kong Bonanza and Clair Obscure. Yeah. You're pretty much good.
I was gonna say because like I'm looking.
Those are the two highest rated games.
They are. Because I think Metroid Prime 4 might actually end up being up there.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be way up there.
But I'm on like I was gonna say because I'm gonna look at this real quick. Like the Carpool Gaming League, Garrett.
Yeah.
The top 5 teams are I'm in the I know I'm in the top 6, but currently Yon 32 actually at the top of the Carpool.
Jeez, man, what does he do? He works his magic and then he just gets up there.
Yeah, well, I mean, his team, he's got Avowed, 2 Point Museum, the Taoist Principle.
That's good.
Tony Hawk's 3 and 4.
Okay.
Gears of War, Fuga Metal Suit of Steel. He's got Split Fiction was his big one.
Yeah, the Split Fiction. Yeah.
He still has Dragon Quest 1-2 HD 2D. As well as some other stuff. And then, of course, Trickster's up there. Sean, of course, is actually at the top of League B at the moment.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Garrett. He's got
good for him.
Elden Ring, Night Rain, Outer Worlds 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, which was counterpicked. He also had Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
All right. A true winner.
A true wiener.
And some of his games coming up are Marvel Cosmic Invasion and Outer Worlds 2, as I just mentioned.
Outer Worlds 2, yeah. I think that'll be a big one. I think it could be a low 90s, but likely a high 80s game. Yeah.
Whereas, I'm in 6th place right now, but I've got Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, I've got Borderlands 4, I've got Kirby Air Riders, and eventually someone will review the Curse of the Golden Idol DLC.
Oh,
I'm
my
sure
goodness.
someone will review it at some point. There's one review for it on Metacritic where it's got an 85. I'm sure other people will review it at some point.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Those things are hard. I hate when I see the bot. We have the bot set up for the channel, and it's like, hey, this game that was not picked got a score of a 97. And I'm like, what is this game? You just never heard of it before. It's super random, super indie or whatever, but it's like one of the higher rating games this year. It's just like,
yeah.
What are you?
I mean, visual novels, that happens a lot where there's 8 reviewers of the game.
And they're like, this is cinema. This is a masterpiece. And
Fate Stay Night Remastered last year. I almost picked it up last year, but I didn't, like a dummy, because that's a visual novel for a series that I love, and it got a 92. It was for a while, it was the highest rated game of the year, as well as Tsukihime, which was also another, Fate Stay Night kind of spin-off visual novel that also had a 93 for most of the year. So
blasphemy. That's actually when I saw Blueprints, and it got a super high score. I'm like, what is this game? And of course, I played it. It's one of my favorite games of the year. So
dude, games done quick. For some games done quick, the speedrunning thing. They had a Blueprints run.
I want to see that one.
You got to see because it was a 2-player kind of run. It was crazy.
I gotta see that one.
Yeah,
because you definitely need more than one run to finish the game.
Yeah.
But I wonder what's the minimum amount of runs they went through, and it's hard because that's RNG. It's not, you can't I'm sure there's optimal ways for it, but you really are in the hands of RNG a lot in that game.
Cool. Right, anyways, good. Let's hear from the NPCs, the non-podcast characters. Of course, let's start with Nagachaka, who says, what Square Enix role-playing game is finally coming to Nintendo Switch 2, and why is it Nier Replicant? In fact, let's go one step further, and why will it be Nier Automata and Nier Replicant as one full experience package? I don't think that's happening, man.
No.
I'm sorry. I love you, buddy, but I think the time for Nier Replicant to be ported to other consoles has come and gone.
It's done. Well, I wouldn't say never, because they did release Nier Automata pretty late in the Switch 1 cycle. I imagine Nier Replicant will come to Switch 2. And it's just going to be one of those random off, not in this direct, but probably next year direct, hey, Nier Replicant's coming to Switch 2 edition. Face your sisters and your brothers in the future of 2042 as they figure out humanity, that type of thing.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like it was different from Nier Automata because that game had a really long tail. It sold really well. The Nier Replicant did not have that. So that's why I think it's a different situation where I don't know if we see it ever on Switch 2. That's just my read on the situation. Because Square Enix seems now like they are not interested in doing a lot of stuff outside of their main franchises that make money. Mm-hmm. And Nier is not necessarily one of those franchises at the moment.
Yeah, I think Nier Replicant's coming to Switch too. Don't worry, Nagachaka. You'll buy it for the 7th time and play it. So
then to answer the question, Garrett, will this be the next Square Enix RPG that comes to Switch?
Absolutely not. It's not going to be the next one. As you said, it's not their priority. I think it's one of those like B, C team, here you go, just port it. Or they might contract it out. It's like, hey, switch to port team.
I mean, we kind of know the next one being the Final Fantasy Tactics remaster that's coming out in September. But beyond that, I still think they're like, you're right. It'll be something like that. Or it'll be like the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy, like I talked about earlier. Or it could be like something else, or Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 16. I think it could be anything like that.
May I make a bold statement to you, Ryan? I think Nier Replicant's more probable than Final Fantasy 13.
I think that's a bold statement, and it's unlikely, Garrett.
Okay.
I actually think Final Fantasy 13, I think they want to get out sooner rather than later.
Okay.
The people at Square Enix see the resurgence of Lightning. They're like, man, that we made $200 million in one day with Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy cards, because that was the statement that came out this week. They made $200 million
so
in one day with Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering cards.
You know what I think they're thinking now? It's like, I don't know about this video game business.
That might just be it too. Might be it too, is they might just be like, hey, we can get all these in cards, although I know that if they do like another Final Fantasy set for Magic the Gathering, it probably won't hit the same way, because they already did most of the cards that they wanted to do.
It's a one-hit wonder.
No, I don't know about that. But I do think like it'll just have diminishing returns with the next one. Yeah, I don't know. I think from Square Enix RPGs, I could also see. No, I'm actually sticking with my guns, because I don't think we actually get any Square Enix announced things here, except maybe, the
next project, HT2D.
The next HT2D game, because we already have like the remake Integrate version coming out this fall, and they'll give a date for it here. And then Dragon Quest HT2D 1 and 2. I think
Dragon Quest 12 is so far away.
Yeah,
it's not going to be in the next few years here.
Yeah, although I would say like it's entirely possible we get a game actually like Visions of Mana that didn't come to Switch 1.
Actually, Visions of Mana, that's a good call.
Yeah, I think that's something. That's a game I could see them porting to Switch 2.
You know what just popped in my mind, Ryan?
What's that?
Dragon Quest Builders 3.
Yeah, they could do something like that too.
I really enjoyed the second one quite a bit. That was on Switch 1. Worked great. I wonder who develops that one. I forgot. I would have to check who actually goes after that. But Dragon Quest Builders 3 is a big opportunity, I think. Yeah. Especially in the Switch 2 audience.
Of course. Well, Garrett, moving on.
Yes.
Speaking of Final Fantasy VIII is Life, Final Fantasy VIII is Love has a question for us.
My goodness.
From Awesome Dave, of course. Who says, with the Xenoblade games being good from what King Quaggy himself says, maybe we'll see some of the other older Xeno games coming to modern hardware, such as Xenogears. What do you think about that? Xenogears, Xenosaga? Is it finally their time? Do you remember how I was like convinced that like 2 years ago that they'd eventually bring Xenosaga over, like Baten Kaitos, and they never did?
They never did.
And I still think they ever do, as much as I want those games on Switch 2.
I don't think they're going after those older games. I forgot. Can you remind me what's the ownership like situation of those older Xeno games?
They're co-owned by. They're fully owned by Bandai Namco.
That's it. Yes, Bandai Namco has the rights to those. Of course, they have good partnership with Nintendo with a lot of different things.
Well, they also wholly own the rights to Baten Kaitos. And
that's true. You're right. Well, did Nintendo publish that?
Nintendo published it, but Nintendo. You're right, because Nintendo didn't publish the Xeno.
They did not publish the Xeno,
but they did publish Baten Kaitos. You're right, but the rights were completely in Bandai Namco's court for those games.
Yeah, so they have a good partnerships or whatever. I'm not quite sure what's their level of expectation in terms of sales and effort for these older games. I don't know if they would do like kind of a collection pack of Xenogears and then Xenosaga. That's not in my wheelhouse, but Ryan, I'm curious what you're thinking about these games.
First off, I will mention with Xenogears, that's different. Xenogears is owned entirely by Square Enix. So,
okay.
And it was published by Square Enix on PlayStation, or I should say Squaresoft at the time.
Squaresoft, yeah.
Square Enix. So I think I actually think the more likely of the two would actually be the Xenosaga games coming over Xenogears.
Yeah, because that's owned by Bandai Namco.
I also just think that Square Enix just doesn't care about Xenogears at this point, and it will never see the light of day again. So, yes, I think of the two, Xenosaga is the more likely, and I actually think it's more likely now because Bandai Namco is really into the re-release game now with all the Tales stuff, as I talked about, as well as some other franchises. So I could see them wanting to go down this road if Nintendo approached them about this.
Yeah, that's true. And it would be interesting if they also do a PC release like they did with Baten Kaitos.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I worry about is that Baten Kaitos didn't sell very well. No. So maybe they look at it and they're like, well, Baten Kaitos didn't sell really well. What's the interest on these going back to these games in particular?
Yeah.
But I think the Monolith Soft people, the Xenoblade crew would kind of eat these games up. They would
100%.
All over these. All right. Final question of the show comes to us from Ron, aka Savoy Prime, who says, "Morning Cavers, Ryan, it is currently 88 degrees Fahrenheit as I type this, and it's going to get hotter today. It's going to be 102 Fahrenheit by noon. Oh my God, that's hot.
That sounds like a Texas summer to me. Yeah, my goodness.
Exactly. In fact, I need to do a quick Goog, Garrett, because
that's like 37 or something. Something like that.
It's 38.888888. So basically 39. That's too hot.
When I was in Shanghai, it was about that temperature, and the heat index was about that temperature as well. It was very hot.
Well, Ron Times In says tomorrow's heat index is at 113 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, no. So in that type of situation, please, people, stay hydrated. Yep. Don't be outside for too long. Try to be inside as much as you can, because that's not good for your health. So yeah, and then actually really have hats and block as much as you can, because that heat will be intense. Man, I remember even the wind in Shanghai, Ryan. It was not wind. It was not cooling me off. It was a microwave of heat just hitting my face.
It was just blowing the hot air in your face.
Yeah, it's so bad. No, that's rough. Stay inside and play video games.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So to Ron's question, of course, do y'all think that there should have been a remake of Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines before doing the sequel to it? Because I think we talked about it on the show, but Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is supposed to be coming out either this year or next year at this point. Or do you think it would be best not to mess with the cult classic? Have a great show, y'all, and Garrett, I hope you enjoyed your birthday. That's what he said.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, I think Ron, that would have been smart. So Vampire the Masquerade is kind of a weird game. It's got some jank to it, but people like that jank. But it's almost like it almost plays like a Fallout or a Bethesda style role playing game, but you play as a vampire and you're in this like vampire society, and it's based off like a pen and paper role playing game of the same name. A lot of people love that game. I think it would be interesting to see a remake of it, but honestly, I think it's probably better for them to kind of just do a sequel or a reboot of it rather than kind of mess with it. Just kind of what you point out here, Ron, like messing with a classic. Like I don't think that game would if you've never played it before, I think it's a game that's like hard to go back to because again of how janky it is. So personally, my thought process would be I'm okay with them to just do Bloodlines 2 rather than doing a remake of the first game, but. I'm curious to know what you think, because again, I don't think you know too much about either of these games, Garrett.
No, but I did see some preview of Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Now, who's developing that? Is that Saber?
It is Saber that is doing it, and I know there's another studio that's doing it that I was very surprised.
Oh right. It was some other RPG studio or something.
I'm gonna look it up real quick because I remember being very surprised by this.
Yes.
So actually, it's Paradox who is publishing it, not
publishing. Isn't it
Saber? But
okay.
I'm looking at the developer ones. I do that. Oh, it's the Chinese room. They're the developers. Yeah, the developers of everyone's gone to the Rapture and Dear Esther and all these other
and their latest one. What was they had
Still Wakes the Deep.
Still Wakes the Deep. Yeah, I actually want to try out that game a little bit. But anyways, I saw some preview of that game, and that looks rough.
Yeah.
It looks really rough. They're really trying to go after the first person action type of game. It doesn't seem like it's going to be much of an RPG. It seems more just action based than anything. I think you're right. I think you won't see much hype or connection or whatever if they do a remake of the first game. I'm curious what Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines is like available on, because it seems like a GOG game to me, a GOG game.
It is on GOG and on Steam. Like it's basically only available on PC at this point because it was only a PC release.
Yeah, and as you said, I think the reboot or whatever is just gonna be so different from the first one that, I mean,
I don't think they see a reason to do it.
There's no reason to put any effort on a remake of the first game.
Yeah, Paradox is just like, look, if you want to play the original, just go on GOG and play it, right?
Yeah, I remember people being very excited for a sequel to this, the hardcore fans, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing a sequel. And now you look at the sequel, it's like, well, it's just so different.
Yeah.
Do you really want this? It could have been a different name and different franchise and be the same-ish type of game, and I don't know.
If anything, I think like Blood of the Dawnwalker, that other role-playing game that looks like more of like a sequel to Vampire the Masquerade than this one does.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah, that game looks interesting. By the way,
that one looks so. That one is made by employees that were from CD Projekt Red. Is that correct?
It is. Yeah.
It looks good. It looks really good. So
yeah,
be on the lookout for that.
There you go. But I think that's going to do it for today's episode of the RPG Cave. But before we go, Garrett, of course, we had to say thank you to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, starting with our ultimate producers, Brendan Myers, a.k.a. The Winter Gamer, Jonathan Brown, the man behind the music on the Xbox Drive. And you find all of his music over at his link tree, linktr.ee/pme.jib, or just search Purple Monkey Entertainment or PME on your music player of choice. Or TechMike, who says whether you're Kevesi or Agnian, you're a Xenobabe at heart. Links to all of our Ultimate 2 producers can always be found in the description of our podcasts. Our Platinum producers, new Platinum producer Benny, Peje, Smoke and Joe, The Captain, and Tim Paullin. And our Gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave 1337, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Emily O'Kelly, John 32, Laura, Ligerwoods 330, Mr. Giggles, OldMrFrump, and Stephen Keller.
Nice.
Huge thank you once again to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. If you would hop in the car with us, head over there, choose the tier that's right for you. And now, Garrett, plugs go.
You can follow me on Blue Sky at Blind Explosion. You can also find me on the Discord. I read every single message. On the RPG Cave channel, not necessarily reply. There's a lot of different stuff happening in that channel.
Yeah.
People go into tangents. I see GIF usage left and right. But I read them. I see you. And then I also read other messages in the Discord. I interact. Yep. You can also find me on the Backlogged at Blind Explosion.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it.
Nice. As for me, you can find me in the Discord at Ryan Turford. I don't respond to everything. I don't respond to most things. No. But if you post a trailer for Predator Bloodlines, you bet you're
you're the first message.
I will respond to your post about Predator Badlands, especially because the new trailer has Will and Yutani all over it, and I'm just like, yes, please give me that movie. Right. You can also find me on backlog.com as Ryan Turford. You also find me on Letterboxd at Ryan Turford, and you also find me on Blue Sky at Ryan Turford. I know. It's sad for me too. But I'm there. I've posted like 8 things, Garrett, on Blue Sky.
That's good. Yeah.
It's more than
those
0.
Reviews. Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, Garrett, for Garrett Bland, I'm Ryan Turford. This has been the 191st level of the RPG Cave. Only 9 more levels until 200.
Whoa.
And we're out.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.